Hi, my name is Eunice, and this is a tutorial video on how to align yourself in downward facing dog. One of the two main sensations that you feel in your downward facing dog is firstly the extension of your spine, and secondly the stretch in your hamstrings. So let's begin in a tabletop position. Coming to all fours, plant your palms to shoulder width distance apart, knees to hip distance apart. Keep your core engaged, elongate the spine, and the back of the neck is long. Now tug both of your toes under. Inhale, using your core, lift your knees an inch off the mat like you're in a hovering tabletop. Keep your core engaged here. We're gonna keep our legs bent as we shift through towards the back of the mat into a downward facing dog. Slow down the movement, keep your core engaged, and then slowly shift your weight towards the back of your heels, leading with your hips and your tailbone. So you're going to keep shifting your weight towards the back of the mat. Keep your legs bent. Slow down this movement, and naturally you'll feel the extension of your arms and your spine as you move into a downward facing dog. No worries if your heel does not touch the ground. Keep your heels up. It just means that your hamstrings are a little tight. Once you're in your downward facing dog, bend one knee at a time to breathe some life into your hamstrings and spine. You can bend one leg while simultaneously sending the other heel down towards the ground. Now let's check in with our form. Starting from the top, spreading your fingers out wide to get a better grip on your mat. Rotate your shoulders externally by sending your elbow creases towards your thumbs. Elongate the spine rather than rounding your back. Keep lifting your tailbone high, and always an option to keep your knees bent. And then slowly drop down to a tabletop position. Whew, a lot is going on in a downward facing dog. Once again, as a reminder, the two main sensations that you feel in this asana, this pose, is the extension of your spine and the stretch in your hamstrings. Now, there are a few common misalignments that I see often in class. And one of them is dumping your weight into your palms and rounding your back. That causes a lot of strain on your wrist and your lower back. Or I see quite often collapsing your chest and your head towards the back of your mat in your downward facing dog. So you're really tight hamstrings, but you're trying to keep your legs straight. But that way you're actually rounding your back and putting a lot of weight on your wrists. So here there's a lot of strain going on. So rather than doing this, let's step our feet slightly towards the back, keeping our legs bent. When we keep our legs bent, the shift of our weight shifts towards the back of our heels. Spreading the palms out wide for a better grip on the mat. Rotate the shoulders open, sending your elbow crease towards your thumbs. Press away from your mat. You're going to relax the shoulders down away from your ears. There's a tendency to collapse your head in, so keep your ears in between your bicep. And then shifting your eye gaze towards the back of the mat. Lifting that tailbone high, and breathe here for a couple of breaths in your downward facing dog. The next common misalignments that I see, I'm already sweating so much, is collapsing the chest into a downward facing dog. So I see a lot of this, sending the chest closer towards your mat and then dumping that head down. So rather than doing this, let's keep your ears in between your biceps, keeping your core tight, lifting from that tailbone. Rather than collapsing, curving out your back, keep your back and spine in a neutral position. A lot is going on here, so keep lifting that tailbone high. Now, a lot of you have questions. How do I rotate my shoulders externally in downward facing dog? In this next part, I will guide you step by step through this process. So coming to a downward facing dog, plant your palms to shoulder width distance apart. It's really important to spread your fingers out wide. Now, as you can see, my elbow creases are facing in towards one another. So rather than doing this, we're going to slowly externally rotate it out towards my thumbs. Once again, in and out. in and out. If you can see that difference, that's how I'm going to rotate my shoulders externally outwards. I'm going to relax my shoulders down. We're pressing away from the mat. There's a lot going on, so take your time as you align yourself in your downward facing dog. Keep shifting that tailbone high and breathe. And then slowly, drop down towards your knees. I'm sweating buckets right now. And that is it. That is our alignments for downward facing dog. If you like this video, just give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button on this channel. And I'll see you in the next one.